checked in. It's the Raggy Dolls.
Raggy Dolls.
Raggy Dolls.
Raggy Dolls.
Dolls like you and me. Raggy Dolls.
Raggy Dolls.
Raggy Dolls.
Raggy Dolls.
Made him perfectly. So if you got a bump on your nose or lumps on your toes, do not despair. Be like the Raggy Dolls and say I just don't care. 'Cause Raggy Dolls,
Raggy Dolls.
Raggy Dolls
Raggy
are
Dolls.
happy just to be Raggy Dolls, Raggy Dolls, dolls like you and me.
One fine morning, just after breakfast, the Raggy Dolls set off across the fields towards the river. The Raggy Dolls' boat, the Spirit of Adventure, had spent the winter hidden in the reeds by the river bank, and now it needed a thorough clean-up before it could be used. "We must check everything from top to bottom," said Duffy. "Aye, aye, Captain," said Backterfront. The Raggy Dolls rubbed and scrubbed, polished and greased, and by lunchtime, the Spirit of Adventure was at last shipshape and gleaming like new. "Cough, Bob!" ordered Duffy, and in no time at all, the Raggy Dolls were underway, heading downriver towards the open sea. This was to be no ordinary sailing trip. It was a proper expedition. The Raggy Dolls had brought plenty of food and drink, a map and compass, hi-fi's telescope, and a sleeping bag. Sapsack had even brought a hot water bottle. The river got wider and wider, and in the distance the Raggy Dolls could see some people windsurfing. "I hope they don't fear," said Lucy. "We'll sail close to the river bank," said Duffy, altering course. But there was no need to worry. The windsurfers were far too busy concentrating on keeping their balance to notice the Raggy Doll. "Look out!" warned Sapsack as quietly as he could. The Raggy Dolls were sailing right under a fishing rod. Luckily, the fisherman was taking a nap. "Phew," said Backterhunt. "That was close." "Too close," agreed Duffy. Just then, Princess spotted a gap in the river bank. "It's another river," she pointed. "Then let's explore it," said Duffy. "Prepare to come about." The Raggy Dolls were too busy with the ropes and sails to notice the sign that said, "Private." The Spirit of Adventure sailed silently up the unknown river. It was quite narrow, and the banks were thick with overgrown bushes and trees. A bright blue kingfisher watched them sail by, while startled rooks flapped and cawed on the tree-tops. "This is like being in the jungle," thought Sapsack. The Raggy Doll sailed on and on until the sun began to set. Hi-Fi climbed the mast and looked through his telescope. Up ahead, he could see a lake with an island in the middle. "Land ho!" he called. Buffy steered for the island. "We'll camp here for the night," she said. "Good," thought Sapsack. "All this exploring was making me hungry." After a supper of corned beef sandwiches and orange squash, the Raggy Dolls crawled into their homemade sleeping bag. All except Sapsack. He had unrolled his hot water bottle and filled it from the lake. "What on earth are you going to do with that?" yawned Duffy. "I'm not sleeping on lumpy ground," he explained. "This is my waterbed." The Raggy Dolls laughed and wished each other good night. It had been a long, tiring day, and very soon they were all fast asleep. None of them knew that ever since they had set foot on the island, they had been watched by thoughtful, unseen eyes. In the morning, the Raggy Dolls woke up to another fine day. They yawned and stretched and rolled up their sleeping bag. "What's for breakfast?" said Backterfront. "I'm starving." "Don't mind that," said Lucy. "Where's Sapsack?" There was no sign of him, just his hot water bottle. "Perhaps he's on the boat," suggested Princess. "No," said Duffy seriously. "I don't think so. Look." She pointed to a strange footprint next to where Sapsack had been sleeping. "What an high blur," said Claude. "That is no footprint holding there. It is more like an hand." Lucy began to tremble. "Oh, I don't like this. What's happened to poor Sapsack?" Sapsack was very comfortable. He was still fast asleep, but up a tree, cradled in the arms of a young gorilla. The gorilla tickled him under the chin. Tad-Tack sleepily opened his eyes. He looked at the gorilla and smiled, then closed his eyes again.
I must be dreaming, he thought. That just proves how comfortable waterbeds can be.
Meanwhile, the Raggy Dolls were wondering what to do. "Maybe we should follow the track," suggested Back to Front. "No, it might be dangerous," said Dorothy. "Let's get the map and see if we can work out where we are." Fi-Fi quickly got the map and spread it on the ground. Princess pointed to the river. "That must be the place where we turned off. There's no other river on the map." "That's right," agreed Back to Front. "Look, there's the lake with the island." "Oh no!" groaned Dorothy. "We sailed right into the middle of Lord Stonybroke Safari Park." By now, Tad-Tack was fully awake and being offered a banana.
Thank you," he said. "It's very kind of you. Are you sure you do?"
The young gorilla didn't speak. He just looked at Tad-Tack as if to say, "I'm sick of bananas. We have them nearly every day." The young gorilla looked sad. His eyes told Tad-Tack that it wasn't much fun being stuck on an island being laughed at by people in boats. Just then, the gorilla's mother appeared. She was enormous. She wanted to know who he was and what he was doing here. Tad-Tack introduced himself. The mother gorilla listened as he explained how the Raggy Dolls had accidentally landed on their island. The mother sighed a deep sigh. "Oh well, you're welcome to stay, but it is very boring here." The young gorilla was delighted and hugged Tad-Tack so tight he couldn't speak. Meanwhile, the Raggy Dolls were following the young gorilla's track. They looked up and saw Tad-Tack. "Oh no!" wailed Fruity. "He's being squeezed to death." No sooner had she spoken than a huge hand picked her up. It was the daddy gorilla. He gently lifted Lucy up and looked into her eyes. "Don't be scared," he said, "but you'd better hide. The first boatload of visitors is on its way." The Raggy Dolls hid and watched as a motor launch crowded with people approached the island. The people behaved very badly. Some took photographs, but others laughed and jeered and threw bananas, even though they weren't supposed to. "How awful," said Princess when they'd gone. "People can be so beastly sometimes," agreed Dorothy. It was hard to explain to the young gorilla that the Raggy Dolls really couldn't stay with his family on the island, but he nodded his head, sadly, to say he understood. Tad-Tack was saddest of all. He picked up his hot water bottle.
"You can keep this if you like,"
he said. The young gorilla was overjoyed. He snatched the hot water bottle and scampered away. "Come on, Tad-Tack," said Dorothy kindly. "There's nothing we can do. Let's go before the next boat comes." The Raggy Dolls were very quiet as they sailed away from Gorilla Island. Tad-Tack borrowed Hi-Fi's telescope for one last look. Suddenly, he chuckled.
Quick, come and look at this."
Another boat had arrived at the island. People were throwing bananas, but the young gorilla was having the time of his life, batting the bananas back with the hot water bottle.
It's not much of a life when you're just a pretty face. Just to be whoever you are is no disgrace. Look around and you will find people of every kind, like the Raggy Dolls,
Raggy Dolls,
Raggy Dolls,
Raggy Dolls,
dolls like you and me. Raggy Dolls,
Raggy Dolls,
Raggy Dolls,
Raggy Dolls,
made imperfectly. So if you're not at ease with your knobbly knees and your fingers